Must be a brainy one because you must have a strict sense of self-discipline.
Well, I haven't been living in the United States much of my adult life. I think that's maybe it because, the diet is really the problem.
Yeah.
It's just fast food and bad food. That is the predominant diet of Americans, and that's why I think they're fat.
Right. Yeah.
I ate a lot of fast food before I left America. I moved to Europe, and the European culture really changed many things about me.
Right.
But my dietary habits were very different. I stopped all fast food, didn't drink carbonated beverages, and I've kept that up for the last 20 years, really.
Now you are single and you live in Shanghai.
True.
Are you having a good time?
I love Shanghai. Shanghai is a great city to live in and very interesting.
Do you like drinking?
Question.
What about the Xintiandi?
I live a block away from Xintiandi, so I've been there probably 1,000 times. And I'm not a big drinker, but I do like a glass of wine every now and then, and Xintiandi is a wonderful place for that. But Shanghai is really a very unique city in the world because it's becoming very cosmopolitan.
Yeah. Well, now Shanghai is very attractive to people like you, computer experts and educationists, and financial people and bankers. Now, what do you think Shanghai should do to attract arts people, artistic people as well? Filmmakers, artists, avant-garde social campaigners, or perhaps we're in a bit of dangerous ground, right? And novelists and even poets.
I would suspect subsidies would be a good part of it and a platform for promoting your work. I mean, artists are still wanting to promote their art. They're still selling art. And so the more area in the city dedicated to arts projects and artists, I think the more art you'll see created. I think that all cities, not just Shanghai, need to really focus on creating a platform for some artistic expression that gives that city some identity, and that will then blossom into more and more of that kind of artistic flair. To my eye, Shanghai is a very open society in that sense, and I
get free information from the internet now. What newspapers do you read?
My homepage is the New York Times. I read it every day, and I feel that online some things are not available, but most things are quite available, and that's how I get my news, through the internet.
I'm a little used to calling outside your name. I want to see you tonight so I can keep from going insane. But I don't know enough. I get some kind of lazy day.
Who would you like to say the person who influenced you most?
Well, I think that if you don't answer that your parents have influenced you the most, you've had an unfortunate childhood. So I really had a blessed childhood.
Yes.
My parents were great in all ways. Both my father and my mother were very supportive and very good role models. Our founder, Bertil Holt, is a really incredible story. He dropped out of college and started a company with his own money, and grew it into $1 billion enterprise in 40 years without any external capital, and a completely self-made man, and really an incredible business talent.
Sweden is a socialist country where, I thought people don't care about money. They're so well looked after by the government, from cradle to grave, right?
It is a socialist country. You're a social democratic country.
There are very few incentives for people to make money.
Well, that's why the Swedish people leave Sweden. And in fact, it's a real problem for Sweden that many of the most talented business people very quickly leave the country and build their businesses elsewhere. Bertil, when he founded the company, he left Sweden within, I think, 5 years, and he kept moving the company around the world as he grew it in the world. So he's really Swedish by birth, but he's a citizen of the world, like many of us at EF, and a role model for all of us.
眼前这个冷静睿智、谈吐有趣的翩翩君子，有谁会知道他是个工作狂？曾经因为肺部积水突然昏迷4天。当他苏醒后，看到父母的担忧，对自己的人生有更沉静、更清晨的感悟。
I love to play guitar, so I play guitar a little bit behind closed doors. I used to live in Hong Kong, and I hike in the beautiful hills of Hong Kong.
Lantau Island.
That's right. You know, the great thing about China is it's so big that there's just an infinite amount of territory to explore. So I feel like every weekend of the year I could go somewhere, be in the countryside and really see something that most of people in my country will never see, which is a gift in two ways.
You've mentioned earlier that your mother is a person of literature, right? Have you been influenced by her? Do you like reading?
I do like reading, and I like writing. And
writing.
I think, if I could choose another occupation, if I could choose another talent, it would be to be an author and to be a much loved novelist. I enjoy that process of writing, but I wouldn't call it my hobbies. One of my hobbies are mainly about doing things that take me out of my workspace and really calm me down. So a lot of exercise and process-driven things like cooking. I really love to cook. Though I don't have much time for it, I do.
What cuisine, what do you prefer in your cooking skills?
Italian, because it's simple but very good, requires fresh ingredients. But I'm not a French. I'm not really a foodie. I'm not into sort of fancy food, but I like good food, and I like the process of creating food, and that's for me quite enjoyable.
So, what's your future plan in China and also EF?
I have no plans to leave at all, and I'm very happy, and I think we have a lot of work to do to make what I said before, to make EF the premier educational brand of China for the next 100 years. Really? This is just the beginning, and I think that we have a team in place that is incredible and really set up to do amazing things over the next 5 and 10 years in China, making it our home market and really succeeding there over the long run. And I'm super excited to be part of that and have no interest or plan